Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Punkify here for MMOBomb.com, and welcome to our first impression gameplay video for Prime World, a new interesting MOBA that's being developed by Nival, a Russian-based development studio, and I'm going to spend about 30 or 40 minutes or so checking out the game, making my usual style of commentary. Now, if you guys want to learn more about the game, I highly suggest you check down below at MMOBomb.com for the full game profile. So if you can't tell already, Prime World is not exactly your typical MOBA. It does have the traditional MOBA sort of tri-lanes, heroes attacking other heroes with abilities, you know, your base that you gotta defend, towers, etc. It's got all those elements. But it has this sort of overworld, sort of kingdom building aspect to it that ties directly into the normal MOBA sense. Now, if you guys want to actually skip ahead to the gameplay of the actual MOBA portion of it, I'm going to go ahead and leave a annotation at the top here. But I would highly suggest sticking around, checking out and listening to this portion of it, because it's very important to sort of understand how heroes behave in this game and how they level up and how they progress, because it's not exactly how you would normally expect in a MOBA. Normally or traditionally in a MOBA, as you play the game, you level up, you choose your next ability rank, and you progress further. In this game, in Prime World, there are no sort of items for you to buy in cash shops like the traditional sense. You don't buy a defense bonus or you don't buy an attack bonus, etc. That's all sort of predetermined or pre-selected for you as you create or build your characters. And the way you build your characters is by sort of building your kingdom and accruing certain resources and then spending those resources on upgrades. So when you look on the right hand corner here, we have silver, food, ore, wood, prime crystals, and your castle population. We also have gold, but that gold is of course the sort of cash shop currency in this game. Now, of course, I've got a ton of all these resources because I do have a developer account, or sorry, I do have a press account. I wish I had a developer account, but we'll sort of go into each of these and how these actually function. So down here, you notice I've already placed a lumber mill, a mine, a manufactory, and some other things. Lumber mill, of course, produces lumber, and it does it so on a time-based system. Much of the sort of production facilities in this game do so via time. So you start with a couple of coins, you start the process, and over a course of 30 minutes, you will yield about 20 of these lumber mill pieces or so. You can also upgrade each structure. You notice each structure has an upgrade cost, and that will increase the production rate of your facility as well. Now, you can speed up the production by spending real-world money, which allows you to gain those resources extremely quickly, you know, instantly, essentially. Not much unlike Facebook games like Farmville, etc., where you basically build a building and then you wait, you know, for it to finish or whatever. That aspect of the game I definitely do not like very much. It's sort of a time sink, but we'll go ahead and continue on explaining the rest of the mechanics before we go back to, is that pay to win or not? Because there's sort of more I have to explain to you in terms of how the game balances out versus just saying, oh yeah, you know, these being able to buy resources is definitely pay to win, because that doesn't inherently affect the heroes. Now, the resources you gain from certain buildings, for example the lumber mill, can in this case be transferred over to the manufactory, which allows you to change that into silver coins. You notice in the lumber mill it only took 3 to make a few, and then once you actually have that, you can then spend only about 18 of that to get much more. So it actually works out in your favor, spending that silver coin to make even more silver coin with the lumber mill, albeit it is very tedious. In order to place these buildings here, you're given sort of these tabs for heroes, for resource gathering, production, residence, etc. For heroes, these buildings essentially allow you to place down specific structures that grant your heroes new abilities, the ability to carry more abilities and customize them even further, etc. Certain buildings are locked until your actual character level is at a higher age. So right now we have only level 11. So for example, the House of Charity, Bastion, etc. aren't unlocked to level 30. But there are other buildings that we can use, such as the cabin, the hut, homestead, and service buildings that allow us to continue the progression of our facility here, or our kingdom, I guess you could say. So one thing to note is, in order to place these buildings, you have to have a higher amount of castle population. Kind of like you could figure that these people have, or these buildings have people inhabiting them, so they must have a residency. So And first, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to residents here, and you notice that as we continue up, these residents allow more and more population to be added. So in this case, residential buildings of this type constructed 3 out of 6, but allow up to 12 people to be inhabited, and it costs 350 food. Now I get food from the farm here, which I've constructed, and again it requires silver to do so, and I can start and it will take 30 minutes, or I can speed it up and get it right now. But I'm going to go ahead and put a tower because it is the highest building population that I can actually have. And because I have the resources to do so, I will go ahead and do that. And you can see exactly where we can place this. I'm going to place this in the corner there as quickly as I can. And bam, look at that. Because I've done that, my castle is then increased to level 12. I've got a new hero at my disposal that I can then buy with silver coins. And then I also get some prime crystals, some silver, some wood, and some of all their resources essentially. As you level up, you get the bonuses, rewards, and then you also can be sent out to do the PvP missions, the MOBA portion of the game, and you'll receive bonuses for doing that and then completing and coming back. So now that I have more population over here, I can then go ahead and choose to put down new buildings. So your production facilities are the lumber mill, the mine, and the farm, like we've already shown. But then we have these two buildings called the Talent Forge and the Prime Distiller. Now the Prime Distiller creates the Prime Crystals here at a rate that is very slow. You get 1 Prime Crystal every 23 hours at the cost of 800 ore. Or you can spend 20,000 ore and get 25 crystals, although you can sort of increase that up to an exponential amount as long as you have the ore. Now with these Prime Crystals here, I'll go ahead and speed that up. These Prime Crystals here are used in the Talent Forge to create new talents for your heroes. And this is sort of goes back into what I was saying, is this is actually how you customize and change how your heroes behave or act in the game. A Talent Forge here, if you notice, I put 1 Prime Crystal in, and as soon as I upgrade this building, I should be able to place 2. Oh, looks like it'll be available after a different building upgrade, I don't know. But normally this would take 8 hours. And during this course, essentially, once it was completed, you could then have a new ability, in this case, Icy Power, which is a purple ability, or rare, or epic rather. And this ability can then be assigned to a particular hero. So this is sort of the way you get new traits or new abilities to customize your heroes. Now if I go back to our hero screen here, you'll notice there's quite a lot of heroes here. And they all sort of have their own individual traits and their own individual abilities and specific things that can be customized or tailored. So if I, for example, go to let's see here, I played the Jagger last game. So this guy here, he has, of course, specific traits, his strength and his intellect as well. And if I go over to the talents, you'll notice, whoa, there's all these different talent screens available, different tiers, etc. So to break this down into something that's a little bit more manageable for you, what you first need to know is you have your specific abilities. There's Wolf Call, Piercing Spear, and Great Hunt. Now these abilities are the abilities that are specific to this particular hero, and they level up as you continue to level up in an actual MOBA match. Now, the Prime actually also serves as sort of like your experience or gold in the game itself, although it's separate from these Prime Crystals. Essentially, as you level up and play in the game and you kill monsters, you can then at certain intervals choose a new tier of abilities to use. And you don't have to only choose one of one tier, you can go back and choose multiple. It's just that at higher tiers, these cost more. As you can see, this one's cost 1,600 Prime in game versus only 300 for tier 1 of this. Now, besides this, there are sort of these passive little tiers or talents that are added into these specific tiers. These talents themselves provide things like health boost, agility, strength boost, damage boost. Some of them even provide special abilities. For example, Hero's Charm here specifically allows a hero that is on your team that is of the opposite sex specifically, grants them a shield when they dip below a certain amount of HP. So it's sort of like a passive ability that your hero will actually cast whenever someone of the opposite sex on your team gets low. There are sort of gender-specific abilities in this game, which is pretty interesting. In fact, it goes a step further in that if you buy a skin of a hero, for example, if there was a skin that created or changed this guy into a female, then he would actually qualify for Hero's Charm if someone else had this ability and was a male. So there's a lot of interesting sort of like combinations like that. Now what I can actually do here, if you notice, is I can hover over here on the right hand side, and these are sort of all the talents that I've either gotten from winning matches and just getting it as a reward, or I get them from actually using the Talent Forge. and I can actually take this, and this, you notice it highlights the tier that I can use it on, and I can drop it in there, and that will then allow me to change out that specific tier or talent. So once I actually played that game, I could choose that talent to level up and actually boost my stats. So you can't actually buy normal items in the game in the shop. You can buy things like potions or teleport scrolls, but all of these sort of items that you would normally expect to be able to purchase in a MOBA are set up ahead of time in these tier lists. So these are sort of like your most powerful items, and these would be sort of your beginning items. You even have this item here, which essentially acts like the Culling Blade in Dota 2, where you do extra damage versus minions, etc. Almost like Smite a little bit from League of Legends. And then of course you even have your passive like every MOBA has. There's sort of 3 active abilities most heroes or champions in this game have, but there are certainly additional abilities you can accrue just by slotting different specific talents here into these slots and then unlocking it once you get into the game. Now these actual heroes themselves also have specific mastery points, in this case 4, that you can actually attribute to certain areas and sort of boost those max level stats. In the actual game itself, when you actually get to the point of playing the MOBA, you can max level up to 36, which is crazy. I think even Dota has a max of 25. So certainly the highest level you can potentially go in any MOBA I've seen so far. And so I can just sort of do these permanent little upgrades, which would determine how many, just slightly more mastery points or slightly more attributes I would get at max level. And then I can reset that at the cost of 3 prime crystals. Other than that, in terms of the actual base building mechanics of this, there's not a lot extra to it. Of course, you have your cosmetic items here. I can put indicators, I can put flag poles, and these all, of course, are purchased with the silver here. And so you can actually purchase these without having to buy specific items, or specific gold rather, as a cosmetic shop item. However, their skins themselves appear to be mostly based off of the gold, which I don't have a problem with, although I don't really know about how that's going to play into the essence that players who choose a hero skin that is of the opposite sex and then get those bonuses because they are now playing an opposite sex. So I'm not really sure how the balance of that works out. But anyways, here, there's also, of course, little quests that you can do over here. As you can see, I can attain 10 victories and get some silver and Lord's experience, which is essentially my castle experience. And then I can go ahead and, I forgot to take that, so I'm going to go ahead and take that ability out. Alright, so now that I've kind of gone ahead and explained all these mechanics to it, I should mention the one last mechanic. Oops, did not mean to sell that, which is the services. Now, these are sort of things that do cost at times real world money. The doghouse here specifically and the cat's house both cost the gold, if I remember correctly, and they give huge bonuses to all the resources every day. So each day you're going to get 1,000 of one particular resource, and then also grants all your heroes 720 experience, although it is not cumulative, so you can't build a bunch of them and get a bunch of experience. So I'm going to go ahead and then queue up for a match. Now I should mention that your heroes, they do actually level up independently, so they can have higher levels and essentially gain access to stronger ability or traits that you unlock or that you accrue from either winning matches or doing the talent forge. But again, you're going to be playing against other players with higher level abilities or higher level players or champions as well. So it sort of does work out. But if you notice here, the Highlander, he's level 3. He's about to go up to level 4 and sort of see each of the individual characters' progression. Alright, so let's go ahead then and queue up for a match. Here you can see all the corporal mercenaries I have. These are the ones that I purchased, and these are the ones I believe you start with as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the guy that I haven't played yet, the Inventor. He sort of acts like a little bit like Hammerdinger. He's got turrets. We've also got the Highlander, which is basically like a tanky DPS. This guy has some wolves that he has access to. So there's certainly a variety of different champions to play with. And I'm not really sure what I want to pick, so I'm just going to go with Inventor to start with. You actually can't choose once the match starts. You choose beforehand, which is a little bit annoying because it's kind of like blind pick. Now there are little modes, there's training, there's challenges you can do as well, and then there's in this case Outpost, which is a 3v3 PvP skirmish. This seems to change at times depending on sort of like your objectives and quests that you have. It may just be also a time-based thing whereby different players can play different modes depending on the time of day or just what's currently available. It almost seems at random. It certainly has changed about 3 times since I began playing. So I'm going to choose the inventor here, and I've got my Borderlands queued up, which is of course the normal mode, and we'll go ahead and queue up there and wait for the game match to actually start. Now, other things that I can note is that your kingdom eventually will keep expanding here, I believe, and keep growing and growing, so you can have much more facilities and keep producing in mass those resources or currency. But in terms of if it's balanced or not for you to be able to pay for things, I'm generally not a fan of anything that gives you too much of a boost ahead of players. It's one thing to give someone like an experience boost or even a boost to the actual currency that they accrue, but it's another thing to sort of be like, hey, just pay money and you instantly get it as quickly as possible. That is something that I'm not really a fan of. On the flip side of this, you don't actually have to worry about it directly influencing a character. It's not like the character itself, you're paying for, really high powered abilities or anything like that. The abilities that you get from the Talent Forge are at random, but if you have enough gold, you foreseeably can just keep doing this over and over and over again, getting more abilities, and basically random chance dictates that eventually, like you saw before, you'll get a really good ability. However, certain abilities you can't get until after you go up to level 21 with a particular hero, and you reach a rating of 1600, which is you play enough and win enough that you reach 1600. So the game certainly limits a little bit in terms of your power creep or your power sort of curve, but I do not enjoy the fact that there's all of this additional sort of like Facebook social MMO implementation into the game. When the MOBA is trying to be competitive, in the sense that when you add all this stuff on here, you start to really dilute the perspective of having a balanced MOBA. Not maybe for the sense that the actual game itself is in balance, like the MOBA portion, but just how you actually accrue the abilities and then innately give yourself more power by purchasing it with real currency. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into a game, and then I'll explain the MOBA side of this and what essentially is different in terms of the actual gameplay from a MOBA perspective. Alright, so I actually got into the match previously, but it ended abruptly, so we're going to go ahead and restart with a new match. I'm playing as a different individual here. One thing that I would actually note is there's actually two factions in the game, the Imperium and the Adornian. Each of them have their own respective heroes, and in fact, if the game can find enough heroes of a specific faction on both sides, it will pit them against each other. Otherwise, it will pit heroes of the same faction, so it kind of acts a little bit strange in that, you basically don't play as heroes of the same or different factions on the same team. They try to split them up, it looks like. One of the other things to note is the game actually takes into account your gender. Besides the actual gender of the character or the actual champion in terms of the gender-specific abilities, if you sort of log in as a female character through Facebook, because you can do that, the game will check that and actually provide bonuses or buffs to your team just for having, a diverse amount of gender playing in a specific match. I'm not really sure how that actually plays out in terms of what buffs you get or if it's in balance. But it is sort of interesting to note that the developers sort of take into account if in real life you are a female or a male. So we're going to go ahead and load in here. It should be pretty soon. Now that once we've loaded in here, as you can see, I'm this big sort of towering, almost mechanical looking guy. And there's quite a lot of things to sort of take in Prime World as far as the MOBA portion of it. One thing to notice just at the beginning is you don't have a lot of actual items to choose from. You have potions that give you things like energy, which is of course mana, health, speed, teleportation, magic eye, which is like being able to see invisible, etc. But you don't have like your normal items that you would buy in any other MOBA, like League of Legends, Smite, Dota, etc. Those all again come from those traits or items that you've sort of slotted into a particular hero before the match actually begins. So if you notice on here, it's recommending me to choose my first ability for 300 Prime, which is exactly what I have. But if I didn't want to do that, I can go ahead and bring up the talents window and see all the different talents that I had at my disposal. Now this one I automatically get because it is my passive, but I can essentially choose between Boulder or Shockwave as my first ability, with other abilities and other traits coming later on. So these are actual abilities, whereas these things give me increases to my HP, my energy, my damage, my regeneration, etc. Much like if they would be actual items that you would pick up. Instead, you don't actually have to have like a limited bag space. You can just accrue as many of these as you want as the game progresses. Now, one thing I should mention that I haven't done initially, well, we already got first blooded on our team. Alright, so let's go ahead and come down here. And these are these flagpoles. Now these flagpoles give us sort of like what's called native ground. And as you can see, everything goes from this sort of torn, dead looking area to a more lush area. Certain abilities on certain heroes actually give you additional bonuses for fighting or using them on native ground. And beyond that, it doesn't look like they give you too many bonuses, although you can actually use the teleportation ability or the portal ability here to teleport to areas that you have native ground on. So it sort of gives you a little bit more in terms of how far you can actually move. Now, you don't actually get gold in this game. What you get instead, a blow that tosses up nearby enemies and inflicts 60 damage on them. Alright. So you don't get a gold in this game. You get prime. That is how you buy new talents and buy new passive, etc. like that. Let's see. Oh man, I keep like moving the camera. I keep trying to hit A to actually attack, which is what I'm normally used to in MOBAs, but that actually moves the camera. Like WASD moves the camera around your character here. Now you do get additional prime for getting the last hit. However, you're not limited rather just by getting, what does this do? Quarry becomes invincible but also unable to do anything. Alright. So if you notice there, that guy, I keep trying to hit A. I'm so used to playing Dota. So you'll get prime no matter what, as long as something dies around you. As you can see, I got 28 there. Much like some Smite, you get additional prime for getting the last hit. So you can still get abilities, you still level up, etc. like that. But you don't actually have to get last hits to do so, although last hitting certainly gives you more bonuses. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I want to get him so bad. This guy didn't do anything. No. Alright. So I got Nature's Health, which gives me some HP there. It's like a passive ability. Get that last hit. Now, as you notice here, on native terrain, the courier has his health regenerative increased by 42. So I essentially, I'm invisible now. Awesome. So this guy made me invisible, which is pretty awesome. We'll come over here. Hey, boom! Bam, up in the air. Get him! Get him! Get him! One more hit! Come on! Oh my gosh. Don't die. Alright, let's come back here. So if I come back over to this native land, in fact, if I actually make this land itself native, which I'll try to do right now, I will be able to then, yep, alright, so it's native. I can hit this, which makes me invulnerable, but then it increases my regeneration quite extensively. So as you'll notice here, as long as this lasts, I'll go and regenerate HP really fast, which is awesome. Alright, so it looks like we did get a kill. Awesome. Looks one guy maybe is already dead, or I haven't actually seen him. I don't know. So there are, of course, also jungle areas as well. If you notice, they're all around the map. There's different types of creatures in there. There's even something that's like likened to Baron or Nashor and all the other MOBAs that we've expected. And it's basically a three-headed Hydra monster. Alright, so it looks like I got a new Gigantic Stomp passive. When the quarry moves, the speed of all nearby enemies is reduced. That's pretty awesome there. So it's just a passive, so it doesn't show up on my sort of activatable buttons down here. You certainly get a lot more area for activatables, although I haven't actually seen something fill up everything in here. I can also pull out a little dog or kitten, which is something sort of like a little passive pet that I get for having those specific buildings available in my normal kingdom area outside of the actual MOBA portion. They don't do anything, they're just kind of like cosmetic. But it's kind of nice to have them. They just kind of follow you around. I'll pull out my puppy here because my puppy's pretty cute. Where's my puppy? There's my puppy. He's like a little wolf guy. Alright, so these right here, these are sort of like your cannon minions, etc. And they actually will pull up your flagpoles or pull down the enemy's flagpoles all on their own. So you don't actually have to do that all by yourself. Although if you want something a little bit quicker, you of course can do it on your own. This is going to come and try to get me, but I think I'm going to... And I think it goes pretty far. Alright, so I'm kind of like a disruptor. I slow down enemies around me. I want to do this. Boom! Knock you all up, and then I can just kind of walk away. I've got a lot of defense. Alright, what was this next thing that I just accrued? Base hero speed increases by 2. Alright, which is pretty awesome. Oh, I've been silenced. He used a special ability on me. Increases... Alright, it also gives me extra health, which is nice. So I can, just knock them up in the air. Get that. And... I mean, the game itself, in terms of like a MOBA, is pretty interesting. There's nice mechanics to the game. Like, I didn't feel like it. Obviously the actual production quality is quite high, and everything seems fairly responsive. And it's still in beta, mind you. There still is areas for them to improve. I really wish I could actually have the ability to hit A or S to stop moving and whatnot, to sort of have a little bit more control over my guys. But it sort of comes into the whole, oh, I've been silenced. Yeah, I guess I'm more of a tank. I don't think I'm meant to do damage. Although, if I had the right traits unlocked, I could, let's go ahead and just heal myself. If I had the right traits unlocked, I could indeed do a lot of damage. In fact, as I get higher up, you notice these things all give me stamina and strength, etc. Sort of different passives. He's feared me, but it's not going to do much damage. Into my turret. It's following me around. Go ahead and smash those up. Come down here. Now, I noticed that a lot of teams actually go 2 in the middle here. And actually, someone like a top or a bottom will solo instead. Which is a little bit different, I have to say. I don't really know the reason for that, per se. But it is nonetheless sort of interesting, because typically in most MOBAs, of course, it's 2 bottom, 2 top, and then 1 in the middle, unless you have, of course, a jungler, which we do not. Alright. So I'm just going to keep healing up the talents here. What do we got? Resonance, level 3. Shockwave inflicts additional damage on slowed enemies and lower the enemy speed the more damage you receive. So one thing I should mention is that unlike, say, League of Legends or Dota or Smite, whereby when you get a new rank of an ability, it usually just gives you, increased damage or increased sort of whatever ability or specialization that it actually provides you. Abilities in this game actually get additional effects. Oh god, they do a lot of damage to me. Abilities in this game actually get additional effects the more you rank it up. So this one actually instantly recovers some health, and then I get, of course, the increased regeneration. But this one now does additional damage. Enemies who have been slowed down take additional damage, and lower enemy speed the more damage received. So if you remember originally, he actually... Let's see if this guy can make me invisible. No, he's not going to make me invisible. Alright. So if you remember originally... Come on, bear. Oh, boom! Alright, so he's up in the air. Let's see if we can actually kill him. Oh my gosh, just kill him. Right here. What are you doing? This right now. He should have been attacking him from the get-go. Alright, so I got some abilities here. And now I've got Landslide, my 3rd ability. Now, some heroes only have 3 abilities. Other ones just have passives. And a lot of them, have 4 abilities like your typical MOBA. But you're not going to see every single champion or every single hero in this game have 4 abilities. And in fact, I've seen some with only 3 abilities, and then the rest are just the individual items that you accrue to get higher ranks. Last hitting with this guy is like super easy. Alright, so Landslide, you notice here he's already taken it out, and then he'll go and he'll rank it up. So Landslide throws weight that deals 276 damage. The hero then changes after the weight, scattering everyone in his path and stunning charges after he does it. Okay, so I see. So it's kind of like an initiation ability, which is interesting. And how are we doing here? Alright, so I get another toughness here. I'll go ahead and rank it up because I have no idea what I'm doing right now. And it looks like I am top on the team, perhaps. Alright, so it looks like he's back now. So I'm going to go ahead and just come back over here. I'm going to quickly heal myself up and recover everything really quickly here. I wonder, does this provide increase? Has his regeneration? It'd be interesting if it actually does. Some abilities do affect your teammates as well when they're on native land, which is pretty interesting. Oh man, go invisible! Alright, so let's see if I can get a kill here. I have my Landslide ability. We'll try to get some. You can actually use your alt button to indicate who you're going to attack. Alright, so we're going to do this. Hey, buddy! Boom! Come on, get the kill, get the kill, get the kill! That one, I believe, just makes her go invisible. It's like a small stun. But my guy, man, this guy is certainly not a damage dealer. He's much more a tanky individual. But it's alright. In team fights, it should actually help out, which isn't a problem there. Go ahead and take that out, and then I'll let the other guy come over, and I'll go back up here top. So I can show you the little different areas on the map that you can go to pick up items, or sorry, to kill creeps. I don't think there's like a, maybe this is a secret. So here's the secret shop here, of course. Allows you to purchase certain scrolls, true sight potions, ceremonial dagger. Deals 130 damage to the selected hero. If the attack kills the enemy, the hero accomplishes a deed. Interesting. Vanishes after use. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up right here and see actually how that works here. Alright, so I'll come here. I will come and try to assist. I don't have my special ability though. It is on a minute cooldown, unfortunately. Hey, buddy. Alright, so let's see what we can do. Boom! Up in the air. I got that. Boom! Yeah, I got a deed. I got a deed with it. And does that actually let me keep it? It'd be pretty cool if that's actually what happened. Alright, so I've got ahead and gotten a kill from that. Nice. I'll go ahead and get these guys up in the air, get these last hit. Man, I do a lot of like auto attack damage to these guys. 197. I don't know if that's a lot, but it dies, so I take it. And I kick that wolf in the face. Or that tiger, I guess. I'll keep lumbering up here forwards. I'm like the Juggernaut, but a lot slower. Oh no, and I'm pretty fast. I got this landslide thing that allows me to like slam people and do crazy amounts of damage and whatnot. Go ahead and slam these up here. It's kind of interesting that it plays into his abilities play into the fact that how slow the enemies are. These guys are going to try to get me, but they're not going to get me very quickly. I'm just going to quickly walk away. Now, one thing you may have been noticing is as I actually spend my talents here, I level up. So I don't actually level up just by killing or getting prime. I level up by choosing a specific ability or a specific trait or item to actually spend it on. Or talent, I guess I should say. I should keep saying talents, but it just reminds me of items because of all the passives they give me and stuff. Alright, so I wish I could kill that guy. Cannot, of course, do any types of... Ooh, let's go ahead and move back from that. Cannot, of course, do any type of denying or whatnot, but it's not big a deal. I never thought denying was extremely important to have in every single MOBA possible. I'll go ahead and kill these guys. Alright. She is super slow. One thing to note is you can't actually get boots in this game. It's again all dealing with those passive traits. Some of them give you additional abilities. Other ones give you like an activatable speed bonus. This guy's doing some stuns. I wish I could get closer. It's alright. So this guy has a pet. Now I did play one game with a character who did have pets. And the pets themselves are sort of based around their activatable ability. Oh my god. I'm gonna keep doing that? No. I'm gonna deadly landslide you next time you do that. So yeah, like I mentioned before, yeah, people love spamming stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and teleport back to here once I've healed up. And I'll do so pretty soon, as I'm done with that ability. And as you can see, I'll just teleport back here. And it's on about 3-minute cooldown. So now I'm here, so now I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? Go ahead and kill these things really quickly. Now, once you actually kill the armory, which is sort of, I guess, like the inhibitor, you get additional, strong minions. Will have you. The armories themselves don't regenerate, unlike, League of Legends inhibitors. But it's more, I guess, akin to Dota 2 in that, essentially once it's down, you're always going to have buffed minions. Alright, so let's use that there. Boom. Boom. See if we can do some like special abilities here. Get some kills. I need more. Yep, he's up in the air. Where you going? Come here. So I can use this ability quite often, which is pretty funny. Alright, come here. Now we're actually getting some... Now we're getting somewhere. Up in the air again. Man, I just wish I had more. I wish I was not so slow. I could actually do something. Man, I wish... Alright, come on, come on. Why am I slow? Alright, oh, okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Come on, I just need a disruption. There we go. Alright, so maybe... Boom! What? Oh, that's his special ability. Man, it like... had a hard time telling me exactly what was going on, so maybe we can find someone. Oh, down this way. Let's see if we can have a team fight here. Alright, so I got another courage. Alright, so we'll go ahead and boost my health there. Look at my guy. He's so tanky. Nothing can kill him. Hey, buddies. Come here. Fight me. Boom! Up in the air. I'm going to go ahead and walk back a little bit. It's alright. I've been decelerated. That's alright. I'm going to kill that creep. I want to get in the middle of these guys. Come on. I got him, yes. Alright, so I did go ahead and get a killing spree. I'm going to go ahead and back up just a bit here. Bump those guys back up in the air. Get my ability in 52 seconds here. Bump him back up in the air. See, I mean, I take a lot of damage. It's like not really a big deal. I'll come here. I'll heal myself up. No problem. Is it actually granting him bonuses? I don't know. Alright, so is it just everybody? When this talent is used on native terrain, the core instantly recover. Alright, so it's only me. Alright. So there's one guy pushing top. I can TP there in 45 seconds. I can also ping it. This guy, he slows everyone. Bump him up in the air. Come on. Capitalize on this, man. Capitalize on this. Strike him up in the air. Just gonna keep auto-attacking this guy down. Man, my guy is like, he does not care at all. He just goes for everything. Bump them up again and again. These team fights, like, they last forever, it seems, on balanced teams. I cannot use my special ability, though. Don't have enough mana. I'm sorry. Bump them up in the air again. I need more mana. Or energy in this game, I guess. Run away! JD7, no! Man, I picked like a terrible guy for this. I do like no damage. Alright, so what do we have here for damage increases? Well, this gives me stamina, this gives me will. So in the future, if I wanted to actually play this guy, I might actually instead go ahead and I have to walk way back to the base here. So I can click that and actually look around with my right mouse button by doing that. There is no ability to sort of protect towers or anything like that. So these guys are pushing quite heavily here. We go ahead and go back to base. We don't have the damage it seems that they do. They certainly have a lot of disruption as well. Alright, so we'll come back here. So there is this sort of playground ability, which I will go ahead and show off as soon as I get back in the base. And this playground ability is essentially a mini game which will grant someone on your team, because you can give it away to anybody you want, a specific scroll of a certain type. It doesn't really matter which one of these you choose. These are sort of just like the mini games themselves. And I'll go ahead and hit start. And essentially I have to paint this picture here using these sort of marbles. It's kind of like a bubble break, I guess you could say, where essentially you got to get them 3 in a row, and it then adds to the paint. So let's go ahead and do that. And if I get this guy in the back, it should put together, and you get like additional bonuses, etc. So you may be thinking like, oh man, this is terrible for your team because you can't actually provide anything to your team in terms of DPS. And you are correct in a sense, but you actually do continuously get more prime as you do this, so you're not completely behind. And I believe it also gives your team sort of like an overall bonus, although I may be mistaken in that. But I do know for a fact that your character itself, you do continuously get bonuses, so it's not like you're out of the game. Alright, so let's go ahead. And these scrolls are fairly strong. Got a little bit more. No, I am against that. Alright, so we're going ahead. You don't have to fill out the whole thing, you just got to get some of it. And it just goes ahead and makes it into a tiny scroll. Once you have the tiny scroll here, then you can choose to give it to someone of your choice. And the rewards, as you can see, is a particular type of scroll, although it doesn't tell me what the scroll does. Last time it did. Okay, there it goes. Starfall scroll deals 160 damage to nearby enemies. Alright, so I've done a quest. Who is the highest level on this team? I will go ahead and give it to him because he can go invisible. So I've gone ahead and I can do that up to 3 times, it looks like. Alright, so let's go ahead and close out of that real quick. And I've gained a little bit of prime for that, not bad. And I'm going to go ahead and just teleport over here with my scroll. And we can go ahead and do our team fight here. So overall, the actual heroes themselves are fairly interesting. It kind of reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist in terms of like what everybody's dressed as, and there's a lot of alchemy and sort of magic that deals with fire and electricity and water and whatnot. So there's certainly several interesting aspects like that. There's someone in the match here. Oh, maybe that's why we're being so low. Okay. So that guy's been in there for quite a long time, level 12. So it looks like we may end up losing this match. I was hoping that I could show you I'll probably just run over there and show you the big bad monster there. But once they get in here, they actually have to fight this tower right here, the Science Lodge, which actually turns into a giant monster eventually. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's do this, guys. Everybody's knocked up there. Kill the guy behind me. Right here. Right here. Come on, a little more. A little more. Knock those. I guess I could use that ability farther. Alright. So I wish I could come out of this. I cannot. Wait, no, there I can. After a small delay, I can come out of that. So Kill Trash finally left the game. That took a while. And I am slowed. Like forever. Thank you for healing me up there. Ah, so that is a healer. So we have a healer and a tank. No wonder we were like so low in the DPS. Unfortunate. So Killed in Trash finally has left the game. Invisible Help +6 to intellect and strength. So as you notice now, I haven't actually gotten up to the next tier, because the next tier requires 1160. But I can spend what I have already on the other available talents, which give me energy, agility, etc. I really wish I could get some more damage though. Cunning and health, I'll probably try to go for that one next. Alright, here, so I'll go back down here. So you can always continuously, I mean, look, this guy's level 20 already, level 16. You can always continuously, oh man, that took, look at him. He's taking so much damage very quickly. I wish my ability, I don't want that, I want this one. Alright. I wish my ability did give you bonuses a lot quicker. Knock those guys up. Kick this guy. So this doesn't do too much damage to me. I do want to try to get you. There, you're knocked up. Kill him fast, please. You can. There's a lot of like silencing abilities that you get in the game, especially when you're on. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna be like knocking everybody up here. And I can go special ability. I'm in this little shield here. They can't do any damage to me. I am completely invulnerable, and I'll come out of this eventually. Come on, I need more I need more damage. So that's gonna do his little stun there. Not unlike, say, Wukong, although it is Wukong only does like a hit. Come on, there we go. Oh man, a little bit more. Oh man, a little bit more. A little bit more. Oh yeah. I'm stunned. I'm gonna die. My ability didn't go off, unfortunately. Oh well. It was sort of like a little bit of a losing match. I'm going to go ahead and surrender this time. One person against it, but it's only, you know, we had level 12. But hopefully this is giving you sort of an idea of how Prime World actually operates. You, of course, got the jungle creeps and camps that you can go for, but the overall mechanics in terms of the MOBA portion of it act similarly to what you would expect, other than things I mentioned like the flagpole, the native land, and then how you actually accrue different traits or new traits here. What do I get at level the top end? The stamina of nearby enemies is increased. I need 1600 for that though. So it doesn't look like I would get that. Alright, so let's go ahead. I will be a kind sportsman and try my best here to defend for my team as long as possible. And these towers do pretty good damage. Overall, when I played this game, it's hard to say. I like the talent trait system. I think that's actually pretty cool. You know, not every game needs to have. Let's go ahead and do that. Boop. Not every game needs to have. Oh, it's just a special thing where it stuns everybody. Not every game needs to have, you know, abilities per se that you get. I want my puppy. I don't want that. And it certainly allows a lot of customization. Although I do not like the fact that. See, I won't die here. I always have my immune ability. I do not like the fact that you choose your guy before you actually go into the match. One thing I should also mention that you actually won't see in this, but whenever you finish out a game, you essentially have to go and I can stun you up in the air. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You essentially have to go. There, I got that guy. Killed and Trash is back now? What is this? Alright, maybe we can actually do this. Stun up in the air. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Come on at me. I'm like super fast. Stun. Up in the air again. I'm gonna get you. Oh, silence! Okay, use my special ability here. I am invulnerable. Let's see, I can't get my top one yet. So one thing I should also mention. Alright, so like I was saying, essentially when you, we may actually pull this out. Alright. So one thing I was going to mention was after you finish a match, your hero gets fatigued, essentially. You can put them in sort of like an inn. This inn will allow them to regenerate sort of like their health or whatnot. You don't get a penalty, per se, for actually for taking a hero back into battle who is weakened or whatever, but they get less bonuses. So you won't get maybe as many abilities or traits rather when you come out of the match. Or for example, you may they didn't actually do that. So do I have enough now? I need to spend one in this talent, looks like. I will go ahead and get that. Alright, so it looks like I need to spin. Now that I've spent that, I can actually finally get up to the max tier. I already have 1,000 of it, though. Man, but my ability takes freaking forever to use. Holy crap. Like 2 minutes or 3 minutes for my ultimate or something. It is a pretty strong ultimate, though. Alright, let's just knock those guys up here. Do some stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do my invulnerability thing, because they can't do it. What? He stunned me? How did he stun me through my invulnerability? No! How is that possible? I have the will to live. Invulnerability. Alright, so now I'm going to be invulnerable here. So now I'm not actually going to take damage. Thank God. But now I might be dead. No, don't go there. Oh, I'm dead. He automatically starts walking back towards them. Oh well, at least we sort of slowed them down. Alright, so to use this, I requires level 20. So I still have to put more into these. I will use that, which is will. I have no idea what will does as a stat. We can actually check that out here by hitting C. What does will do? Increases your hero's magic defense. Man, my magic defense is lacking. So let's go ahead and get that increased. Looks like Demon Heart here is going to be taken care of top. And I can't, unfortunately, buy back, but I will be back in 15 seconds. The cooldown timers for actually death, even late game, is not that bad. 20, 30 seconds or so versus, say, Dota 2's a minute, 90 seconds. It certainly gets you back in the battle a lot quicker. That guy's like all about electricity. So I am back now, and I can teleport anywhere on the map. So I will teleport here to assist my ally. I do like the fact that I can teleport practically anywhere, where it adds a lot of sort of dynamic in terms of like where someone can pop up to assist the enemies. I just wish I wasn't so freaking slow. I am the slowest golem in the world. Alright, so come over here. Alright, so what is the cooldown on this then? 160 seconds. So it's basically 2 minutes and 40 seconds for the cooldown, which is incredibly slow. Alright, so maybe we can do something here. Oh man, this is bad. What are you gonna do? Come on, attack me. Use ability here. They're trying to focus me. They're up in the air. I want to use... They're all stunned. I can stun them again. So my guy's all about disruption. Look at this guy. He's all about disruption, doing crazy stuff. Ah, yes, up in the air again. Ah, yes, I got him. All right. So now we're actually doing something. Now I'm understanding this guy is all about just like crazy amounts of disruption, knocking everybody up in the air all day, every day. All right, so let's keep going. That guy's got kicked uppercut. Reminds me of a fighter from Street Fighter. He's down. He probably is going to resurrect, which indeed he will, I believe. Knock him up in the air again. He's dead. Good. Good, good, good. All right, so he's going to get knocked up in the air again. Oh, man. All right. Now we got this. See, look at this. We're going to come back. See, one thing I was worried about playing with this game is the fact that I thought perhaps that it would be too easy to snowball. But I find that because of the fact that your level isn't indicated by how much experience you get, but rather the amount of prime, and you can get prime from several different ways, you indeed can actually come back in the game quite quickly if you know how to play, or at least if you have a team that is already doing, you know, okay. You can just quickly go ahead and do the mini games, or, you know, kill creeps, and you get those abilities, you know, because your gold and your level is all determined by prime. All right, so let's come up there. We got ourselves a healer now, so let's go ahead and keep on coming up here. They just don't have the defensive capabilities as much as we do. All right, so I'm gonna focus on this tower here, because why not? Kill him! He's gonna do his whirlwind kick there. I think he also regenerates HP as he gets into. Oh, it's uppercut, really. Don't die. I can watch their HP up here a little bit here. Pretty close. A little more. Down. All right. Oh god. A little bit of lag there. No problem. I'm gonna come up here. Boom. Knock that guy in the air, and then punch to the face. All right, here. Doing quite well, I have to say. Oh man, 2 towers though. Alright, so let's go ahead and come back here, but oh, we got the nice little floral stuff going on. 2 guys defending. Now that guy with the electricity does quite a lot of damage. I'm a little bit worried about him. I've got 1300. Can I use it yet? Nope, still not level 20, so I will go ahead and get some more will just to beef up my defenses. And now I'm level 21, so you do have to spend your prime in order to get your levels up. Hey, I'll do this. Get up in the air here. I got a lot of magic defense, though. I mean, look at this. I'm going to have my special abilities here pretty soon. And are you ready for this craziness? Are you ready? Blah, 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 blah. Knock up in the air. Stuns. Stun. It's alright. I can punch. It's not a problem. I'm a really good puncher. Let me get a free kill here. Knock that guy up in the air. And I can just kind of be like, hey, come fight me. And then just use that to allow myself to be a sort of invulnerable. You can't do anything to me, but as soon as I come out of this, get ready. It's gonna hurt. Get him! It's so close! This guy. This is the guy that I'm annoyed by. Alright. Knocked up in the air again. Alright, my game crashed for just a second, but I'm back. We're still on exactly where we left off. Let's see if we can actually win this game. This game is quite a long, doozy of a game. No, Marlon's gonna go down. Marlon gonna use his ability there to get a little bit more HP. Knock you up there in the air, just keep you down. I am now out of mana though, so now I must run away. B. B. Where's the B? Alright, there it is. Alright, so now I can use my special ability here. Just teleport back to my home base, which is quite nice. And once I get back here, I can actually then purchase a scroll, which should allow me to teleport back to them. However, it is only the nearest friendly building, I realize. So, unlike your other teleportation ability, you cannot teleport somewhere like a area that's native ground, rather, unless... Okay, don't die. Unfortunately, unless there is a structure there, which there is no longer. Alright, so let's come back here. So I have to be level 20, so now I just have to get enough prime, so 1600 prime. I'm going to go ahead and get this, which is the decreasing of stamina, which should be very nice. You notice that these are sort of like rank 1 abilities, etc. Essentially, like if you find abilities that are higher ranked, you know, they're like purple or a legendary or a green, etc. You get more bonuses when you actually use those abilities. You can also level up abilities by using passive abilities that you do not actually own. Or passive abilities, rather, that you do not want. So this guy's going to try to kill me, but I'm not really too worried about them. I'll go up here and smash him up in the air and walk away. Flamethrower has destroyed another tower, though, unfortunately. That's basically the version of their cannon.
Assault master.
Come on.
I am one with the earth.
He's not going to do any damage to me here, but he is going to start taking damage. Just wait for that to... Whoop.
Coming through.
I'll pull back here.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're still going to win, although Middle is still pushing. Just want to get them off that tower. Keep pulling back here. So overall, would I play it? The biggest issue that I have, again, is just the sort of Facebook-esque element that's going on these guys. You know, the best, alright, he's going to use the special ability there, which makes him passive.
Indispensable fighter.
And now I can actually finally purchase the abilities I want, which is here. Alright, now everybody's HP will be down. So you should be able to, there we go. So there is our special little monster, our Hydra. I'm not really sure what bonus he actually grants. I have yet to actually have a team be able to kill him. But I do indeed know that he is quite hard to kill, and in fact, you're going to have your full team at your full HP, rather, before you actually can kill him. So I'm not really worried about this guy. Doesn't do enough damage, but he does disrupt you, and he is invulnerable, unfortunately. So I also just, of course, slow them just by being near them. So I'm going to try to keep on this guy. Stunned on that, and he's going to use this little special ability to run away. So I believe there's also things that increase my speed that I can buy that I have not already. Let's see here. This increases the stamina will of nearby. That makes it good. If their hero's health draws for 20, he receives a shield. Go ahead and do that. It's going to just increase my tankiness. This game is certainly drawing up for a long time. Knock that guy up. Come on, get him right here. 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 That's who you got to kill. Come on. Come on. Got a guy coming up from behind.
Stand back.
He just kill.
Break them.
I feel like the games could perhaps go on too long, just because everybody becomes super tanky and everybody has like a lot of escapes or just has a lot of traits. You know, that's one of the things about. So he's stunned. Right? I've lost where exactly he is. So yeah, there he goes, and he just barely got away. But you get all these like traits and upgrades, etc. Whereas in League of Legends or Dota, you're limited to a few items, and with that, you basically limit the amount of total. Oh god, here we come. Here they come. You limit the amount of total damage you can actually do. Got that guy in the air. He doesn't have quite as much HP. That is accelerating. Now I'll need to back up. That girl's gonna die. Wish I had more mana. I really need to start bringing mana potions with me. These fights just last forever. I mean, you can't kill me. Not alone. Maybe as like an entire team. But I mean, we have a healer and this guy. So I'll just come up this way. I'm decelerated, and I'll keep decelerating because it keeps hitting me with those auto attacks. This is gonna just allow me to continuously heal for no issue, basically. Let's keep moving.
Killing spree.
So because I automatically slow them because they're around me, I can just basically run away, no problem. Oh no, he's decelerated me again. What is this? Refresh. Is that actually gonna give me? Oh my god, I was almost gonna make it out of there. But my shield did indeed proc, so now it's gonna go down. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the game here, or end the video here. It's actually gone on quite longer than I expected. These matches seem to last a really long time, it seems. But if you guys want to learn more about Prime World, I highly suggest you check down below at MOBAs.com for the full game profile. As always, this has been Spunkify. Spunkify out. Later, guys.